What is this? So not only is that a stupid shot because obviously the camera was already outside and the package was there, but it's also a stupid shot because this package came in like 3 days ago. I'm just waiting to unbox it on camera, so yeah. But that's definitely a sign of dedication because you know how badly you want to open a package right when you get it. Well, it's a thermostat. It's a super cheap one. Is that a good thing or a bad thing? We'll figure it out. This is a Jumpstart thermostat, heat mat thermostat. Select and maintain optimum rooting temperatures for faster seedling or cutting growth. So this is basically a hydroponic mat thermostat, which I don't really know anything about hydroponics or mats for hydroponics, but here it is. And the fact is that we use, thermostats that are made specifically for reptiles in mind, and quite frankly, we pay for that. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna test out this thermostat, which was under $30 on Amazon. I'm gonna try it out for a little while and see how I like to compare to some of the top competitors. And obviously this is made for reptiles. There were quite a few reviews on Amazon that people were using this as a reptile thermostat and they had no problems with it. It looked like the variance would be about 0.5 degrees, so it's obviously not gonna work for an incubator, but I think I'm gonna put it on my corn snakes because honestly, even if it does fail or anything happens, they could live easily at room temperature. So the fact is, if it does fail, then no snakes will be harmed and there's just less risk. So we'll see how it goes. So the temperature setting range for this is going to be from 68 degrees Fahrenheit to 108 degrees Fahrenheit. So obviously within that range, that's a pretty reasonable range for most reptiles. And the cool thing about this is it does have a digital readout. So if you get the intro from Vivarium Electrics or you get the hobby stat, you're obviously not going to get a readout on that. And then all the cheaper thermostats like that, you're not going to have a live readout, so it doesn't tell you the exact temperature what it is. It just puts a green light on when it hits the optimal temperature. So to me, I just feel like that's a large risk as far as you never know if maybe your thermostat is totally off as far as maybe your heat tape's at room temperature and you don't, and it doesn't tell you. I wouldn't worry about this little guy. For some reason it seemed to fail and ramp up and melt heat tape and melt some tubs. Luckily none of the snakes were harmed, they just kind of moved to the front of the tub. But definitely not gonna do that again. Things are happening. Things are happening. So I'm not sure what it's reading right now, but it is 80 degrees. Which it is not 80 degrees in this room, but I don't know, we'll give it some time. And the fact is it's not plugged into anything. Power cord, which is permanently in there. Your probe, which also seems to be permanently in there. And then you're gonna put your heat in there. So here is the plug to my heat. But first I'm going to place this probe in a reasonable spot. So probably the most important thing that some people don't exactly know about is how important it is to tape down these properly. So this is foil tape a lot of people use for putting their heat tape on there. Quite frankly, it's really, really sticky. So this is the probe from the other thermostat that I just took out. And then what I'm going to do here is put in the new probe. And this probe does have a little suction which I don't expect to work, and it doesn't. But let me put it in here. And what's good about these TGR racks is that you can actually put the probe under there. So it's not directly on a tub or directly in the heat tape. So it's gonna get you a pretty good read here. Then I can tape this down real good. Let me get this out of there. This little suction cup needs to get out of there. So tape this down real good here, where we're gonna get an accurate read in the and that's really it. Now all we have to do is plug this guy in. And I'm going to have to find a new way to hang this up. Unfortunately, the thumbtack doesn't really work. How do we set this thing? Oh no. Instructions? And then enter the temperature. Let's see. 1, 2, 3. Ooh. 85. Set. Things are happening here. Woo! So that was pretty easy. So what I have here is a Vivarium Electric Hobby Stat. And this is a basic thermostat, turn dial, green light when it hits the correct temperature, probe obviously, and then also there's a power plug-in. And this is $59.99 on their website. And so far so good. I mean, there's nothing terrible about here. You can put a night drop in here, which honestly I don't have anything that needs night drops. But I mean, just your very basic thermostat. So what I have here is the Vivarium Electric's 300x2, which is going to have 2 inputs basically. So you can put 2 probes, 2 racks on here, and then it has a built-in night drop, so you don't have to have some crazy module to put in there. This works pretty good. I mean, after a year it started to get this audible click when it went on and off, and now it just seems to work sometimes and not work others. So it was good, but it seems like these Vivarium Electrics, it seems like I haven't had one last over maybe a year without some problems. And that problem might be as simple as changing the probe, or in this one, I mean, I might send this one back and see, what's going on with it. Because I mean, this is, I'm not sure exactly how much it is, maybe about $270. Let me look. Just kidding, I'm way off. I've heard a lot of good things about the Herpstats. So that's going to be Spider Robotics Herpstats, and the Herpstat 4s. You can put 4 racks in there, and I haven't heard any problems with that. Honestly, the construction seems a little bit more of a higher quality than the Vivarium Electrics. The Vivarium Electrics kind of remind me of a 1980s Nintendo, like the old NES. It's a little cheap on the plastic and stuff like that. This is definitely not made where iPhones are made. So yeah, that's pretty much it. But Herpstats seem really good. I haven't tried them. A lot of people have had Helixes. I've seen Helixes around for 10 years. And Johnson Control, which I believe those Johnson Controls were just hydroponic thermostats. So just like the one I'm gonna try today. But there's a bunch of different choices, and this might be a reasonable way to save some money in snakes that aren't going to be too picky about what the temperature is. We'll see. Always worried about obviously the health of the animals and the well-being of the animals over the price. So let's see if it's a good trade-off, because I think it may even be better than, you know, something that's just going to be a turn thermostat that's not going to give me a live readout. This one's going to give me a live readout, so let's check it out. So far, pretty good. I set it to 85, and it's obviously at 85.6. Not a big deal as long as we don't start going to like 88 or something crazy. So hopefully it stays within the realm of, you know, 84 to 86 degrees.